Okay, so who here knows that feeling you get when it's your 12 o'clock class and your stomach hurts because you're so hungry? And it just keeps on growling and you are just waiting to eat. Now imagine being a child and going to bed with that feeling every night because you don't know when you're going to get your next meal. The only chance you might have at a meal if you're a child is at school, cafeteria lunch, if it's a school day. Although we live in the world's wealthiest nation, a large portion of people in the United States suffer from daily hunger. These are some 2014 Feeding America statistics. In the first column, that's the percentage of food insecure households. So out of 100% of households in America, 14.3%, which is represented by the orange, are food insecure, meaning they don't know when they may receive their next meal. In the second column, there are 318 million people in the United States. The orange represents 33.3% adults who are food insecure, and then 16% is represented by the yellow, which are the children, the number of children who don't know where their next meal will come from. So let's break that down even more. That's 1 in 7 Americans go without a meal every day. So that's someone we know. Let's look at this classroom. I mean, that's a few people in this classroom if we're going on a statistical standpoint. Okay, so according to Bread for the World, a nonprofit organization, the number one cause for hunger in the United States is poverty. 45.3 million Americans were living below the poverty line in 2013, according to World Hunger. That is the highest amount of people living like this in the 52 years a census has been taken. The reason for poverty in America are the lack of employment opportunities. So jobs are going to go to the most qualified people, of course. When a person doesn't have a high school diploma, a GED, or even when they migrate from a different country, they're less likely to be hired oftentimes because they do lack proper education and training and certification and skills for the employment at hand, according to World Hunger. So what are the top hunger prevention services? SNAP, which is also known as food stamps, are the number one service provided throughout the United States, and those are vouchers given to people. And mostly families are 75%, and then the elderly account for 25% that they are given to. The second most common is WIC, which is a supplemental nutrition program given to women, infants, and children to purchase nutritious foods. The third is a National School Lunch Program, which is a federal program that assists in free or significantly reduced lunches for students, which is what a lot of children rely on. So on the weekends when they don't go to school, they may not receive a meal. Food banks and pantry services like the Union Mission, church organization, and the Salvation Army are also very prevalent. And of the 62,000 feeding agencies in America, 68% of them rely on volunteers like you and me, according to Feeding America. So hunger has no boundaries, really. There are people all around us who suffer from hunger. You know, there are friends, our family we may not even know about. There are people we pass on the sidewalk who may have not received a meal for the entire day or the day before. So Feeding America gave us this impactful quote, allowing us to realize just how many people hunger affects in the United States. Over 100,000 athletes participated in the summer 2012 Olympics, which is the same amount of children who struggle with hunger in the wealthiest county in the United States, Loudoun County, Virginia. So when you look at that, that's a lot. That's a lot in one county. You know, I know hunger seems to be a topic that's like really prevalent in third world countries and not necessarily in our own country because it is one of the wealthiest nations in the world. But it is very common and it is an issue that a lot of people face in the United States. Okay.
Okay, good.